Things don't always go as planned when shooting interviews in the field, so we thought we would show you a few of the most common problems and how to avoid or fix them. For some reason, some people like to rock back and forth when you interview them, like this girl.
Are you excited for college?
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been ready to be done with high school for a really long time, so.
Instead of panning the camera back and forth and making everybody sick just to keep your shot framed up, simply ask politely if your subject will stand still.
Would you mind just keeping your feet planted? It'll help it look better.
It's worth breaking up the flow of the interview to make sure they aren't dancing around your frame the whole time. Never interview someone in a swivel chair. They will always do this.
What do you think about the football team's uniforms?
I think they're great. They really represent our school well.
And it's going to look super weird in your shot. Again, this is a case where you can just simply ask them nicely to stop swiveling, or better yet, never interview anyone in a swivel chair to begin with. Sometimes you need to interview 2 or more people at the same time. And what if you only want one of them in the frame at a time? We suggest moving or zooming in to whoever is speaking at the moment and frame them as a single interview. Like this.
So Morgan, what activities are you involved in?
I'm involved in HTV, Cabinet, and National Honor Society.
Okay, how about you, Kim?
I'm involved in basketball, soccer, Stuco, NHS, Key Club.
Some people tend to talk very quietly on camera for some reason, like this girl.
So what do you think about the new renovations?
I just love the new floor, and I think it looks really good.
And it doesn't matter how you adjust your mic levels, it's not going to sound good, and it's just going to be hard to hear her. And again, this is another case where you're just going to need to ask politely for the person to speak up.
Oh, would you mind speaking up for me a little bit?
Oh, sure. I was just saying that I love the new floors here at Hillcrest, and the walls look great, and I love the wood paneling on the walls too. It really adds a nice touch.
So what do you do when the interview mic is out of service? You can always use the camera's built-in microphone. It won't be as good as the lav mic, but it'll work in a pinch. Here's what you do. Zoom all the way out and get as close as possible to your subject with the camera.
Here's the deal. I didn't get my grade card, and I was wondering why I didn't get it, so I went to the office.
You want the on-mic camera as close as possible to the subject's mouth. It's not ideal, but you'll get much better results than being a few feet away. If you can, try to avoid shooting an interview in direct sunlight. Notice how harsh those shadows are under her eyes. This also forces the subject to squint the whole time, which doesn't look good and it's uncomfortable for her. If you can, try to find some shade where the light is softer. You'll have to adjust your exposure and white balance, but notice how the light is much more diffused in the shade. You can see her eyes much better, and she isn't forced to squint the whole time. Now, we've already talked about this, but as a quick reminder, watch out for those bright lights behind your subject. If your subject is backlit, move the camera to the other side and use this great light to your advantage. What do you do when your subject is taller than you and you want to keep the camera at eye level? First, you set your tripod up at eye level with your subject. And then you find something to stand on. Our photographer is using a chair she found in the hallway. This allows the camera to be at eye level and lets our photographer see what's happening in the frame at all times. Some people are extremely uncomfortable on camera. It's the reporter's job to keep the subject's attention on them and away from the production equipment. If the subject is acting distracted or overwhelmed, the reporter should try to regain their focus.
Hey, don't worry about the camera and the lights. Just focus on me and we'll get through this.
And photographers, don't draw attention to the production process by making the subject part of the crew by asking them to check the microphone or to hold up white cards. It's your job to do this before the interview begins. Some people just can't help but wave when they see a camera, so don't be surprised when this happens.
I think it's like a really good idea because then we'll have more room, and I think the food will be probably better, and it'll be just like a different location in the building.
Your viewers probably aren't paying attention to your story with the yahoo in the background waving. The only thing you can do here is wait for the guy to move on and ask your question again. Or you can move to a location with less foot traffic.
Let's review troubleshooting. Ask rockers to stand still. No swivel chairs. Frame double interviews individually. Ask quiet talkers to speak up. Zoom out and get close when the mic is broken. Avoid direct sunlight. Avoid backlighting. Be creative to get the camera eye level with subjects. Put your subject at ease by not drawing attention to the production process. And finally, watch out for distractions in the background. And that's it for Volume 2. If you have any questions or comments, find us online at scholasticbroadcasting.com. On behalf of the Academy of Scholastic Broadcasting and Dave Davis, I'm Brandon Goodwin. Thanks for watching.